Welcome back everyone to my 2.5 tier list. I do a tier list every single patch. So if you're like, man, I want to know the best character to climb as a solo climbing player, subscribe to this channel because I drop one every single patch. As always, there's a couple of rules to my tier list. Rule number one, this is a solo climb tier list. You're not, you don't have a squad of 6, you don't have a squad of 3. This is the characters that are best if you are a solo player mostly. The second rule, we're not factoring in team ups. You can't account for someone swapping and doing a team up with you. So we don't take those into account in terms of what we're replacing. The third rule, this is not a power tier list. Some characters are good, but are placed lower for a specific reason. If you want the full reason to why characters are placed in certain areas, check out the stream, I'll link it below, and I go in detail over every single character. Last and final rule, play whatever you want to play. It doesn't matter what any tier list, whether it's mine or someone else's, says. If you enjoy a character, play the character. You can climb with every single character in this game. They do a great job making sure that every character is viable. Hopping into this real quick, we're going to run through everybody real quick. Iron Fist, although he got nerfed, he is still incredibly broken. Anyone telling you otherwise did not read the patch notes thoroughly. I know there's a lot of over exaggeration on nerfs and buffs in this game with this community, but a lot of the nerfs and buffs aren't nearly as drastic as a lot of people think they are. Black Panther, still extremely strong. One of the main reasons is he's very, very hard to hit, and he can also KO any target that he chooses to KO if it's a backliner. That's something that makes him incredibly strong. Even if he doesn't end up KOing a backliner, the fact that he's there is enough to make people play it a little bit differently and probably allow your team to get a free pick. Cloak and Dagger, always incredibly strong. She's able to ult, which then has the damage over time in her ultimate. On top of that, she's able to solo KO pretty much any diver, even tanks sometimes when she is played. Doctor Strange, very good at getting people that are out of position, and having your Eye of Agamotto, your ultimate, is usually a great way to just get a free pick, and a free pick usually means the end of a team fight. Hela, great pick, very easy to play. I mean, there's nothing more to say about that character. The character is very strong, and she just got buffed. Her ultimate is great as well, a great ult clearing tool, fantastic. Again, if you guys want specific details about each character, check out the stream, link below, and I talk in detail about all these characters. The Hulk, great character, infinite jumps, a lot of damage, very big hitbox, just fantastic character all around, and he also provides a team up for Namor, so does less harm than good, basically. So, or does more harm, no, I said that right, does less harm than good, great character. Next character, we have Iron Man. So Iron Man is in the solo carries list because usually between Bronze and Diamond, they're pretty uncontested. Now, I know the meta is shifting a bit more towards poke characters and whatnot, and he is one of the slowest flyers in the game. However, usually from Bronze to Diamond, people are still not wanting to commit to taking out a flyer. You can get away with a lot. One of the main things that makes him a carry is his ultimate. You can pop anybody out of their healing ultimate, and there's starting to be 3 healers almost every game now. So he's a great character to counteract that 3 healer. When they ult, you take one out, you're probably going to win the match right then and there. Next we have Loki, incredibly strong character, never not strong. Going to be one of the best healers in the game forever, probably, unless they rework him. Magic, very strong character. Overshield has tons of damage. Very good character in a 3 healer comp meta because she's able to one-shot all of them. Scarlet Witch, great character for the same reason as Iron Man, but she also is just very good as a character. Very consistent. You don't have to aim. You do have to aim your alt fire, but only takes 3 alt fires in between your tether and you get the KO. Very good at diving, very hard to catch, very solid character. Next we have Spider-Man, always a threat, always a nuisance. Really what you're looking for is your ultimate. Once you land that ultimate, you're going to secure a 1-team fight more often than not. Next we have Squirrel Girl, pretty much similar to Spider-Man. A good ultimate will just wipe a team fight, but also the fact that you can be very safe away from the enemy team and, launch your damage for free. That's what makes her very strong. Next we have Star-Lord. Star-Lord is a great character in general. One of the main things that make him a great character is his team wipe ability. In Bronze to Diamond, not many people know how to save their ults for him or know how to avoid it. So if you can get your ult and ult at the right time, you will consistently win every single team fight. Next, we have the Punisher. Always been a strong character, but he gets more value if you know how to aim. If you don't know how to aim, there's not a lot of value. They've also buffed him recently too, which made him even better. Next, we have Thor. Now, I know Thor got adjusted and changed, but I still think he's a very good solo carry. Again, the whole thought process and the whole speech is on stream. Check that out. But I did play a lot of Thor games, and I really wanted to get the nitty gritty of what this change was about, and that change didn't really do anything to him in terms of how he plays, other than make it so that if you're playing Thor, you have to be more concise about what you're doing. It's not about just running into the enemy team and staying there for as long as you want to. Again, more details about that later. Next, we are in the stream, which is linked below. Winter Soldier, always a great character. His kit is literally designed to carry a game. Mr. Fantastic, great character. One of the main things that makes him great is he's good at everything. There's not really a lot of things that he's not good at. And as you get better at the character, you start to provide even more for your team. You start to be more of a threat. And that type of gameplay is a very solid character. Emma Frost, straight up easy character to take advantage of other people making mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes in these ranks, and so very good character to take advantage of. Next, we have decent team equals easy win. Again, these are the characters that as long as your team plays all right, you'll be able to win the game. Ultron, great because of his damage, and as long as your team doesn't just run in there and get exploded when you are trying to use your bot, you probably will be able to carry the game yourself. Groot is one of those characters as well. As long as your team knows how to capitalize on whoever you wall off, you probably end up winning. Hawkeye, pretty much as long as your team knows how to play with you, you'll end up winning. Luna Snow, great character. Once again, Magneto, the same exact way. As long as people play with you, you end up winning. Namor, pretty much the same. Penny, the same. And pretty much so on. I guess I'm not going to talk too much about that lineup because it's pretty self-explanatory. When we're coming and talking about match-by-match basis, a lot of these characters, almost every single one, they move up a tier as long as you know how to play them properly. This is not a one-trick tier list. This is for players who are looking to get into the character or maybe have like 10 hours on them. In a match-by-match basis, you're going to need like 50 hours to 100 to really be able to move them up to decent team equals easy win. I'll talk more about that in the stream, remember. And then not worth your time. Again, not really worth your time just because there's more things for you to learn in these ranks than learning how to play Black Widow, in my opinion. Now let's move on and head towards the high rank tier list. So these are going to be the Diamond-OneAboveAll. Again, if you want explanations, stream link down below. Solo carries for the top is going to be Black Panther. Just very fast, very hard to deal with. And as you get better, as you get into these ranks, you start to become more efficient with how you play. Next, we have Hawkeye. Hawkeye players tend to pocket you more often, so you can be more out of position. You can be more looking for those shots. And Hawkeye is very good at carrying a match. Next, we have Hela. Very good at carrying a match as well. Pretty much similar to Hawkeye, similar to the previous tier list between Bronze and Diamond. Basically the same. The Hulk, still the carry, doesn't matter which rank set he's in, provides the same exact type of carry potential. Although there are counters to almost every character in the game, doesn't mean anything when the player is better than the person using the counter. Next, we have Iron Fist. Once again, still considered one of the best characters in the game, in my opinion. I actually think he's the most broken character in the game, and I think he needs to be removed or reworked. But that's a whole another thing entirely. The character is very, very strong and very oppressive. And the nerf that he received, as I said before, people over-exaggerated it. He's still the same character. Next, we have Loki. When we're talking about Loki, again, you can't get any better than that. He's just a very, very strong character. Magic is next. As long as you can play Magic, as long as she's still able to one-shot healers, she's still very strong, especially in this meta in particular. Next, we have Psylocke. So Psylocke moved up from the last one because she understands how to play the game more at this point, and her picks lead to more one-team fights. Again, I explain a lot more of this on the stream. Scarlet Witch is next for the same reason that she was before. Winter Soldier, same reason. Wolverine is higher in this tier list because players understand how to play team fights better. So as a Wolverine player, you're able to carry a lot more team fights because everybody understands how to play team fights better in general. Mr. Fantastic, still in the same spot. We moved Human Torch up because of the simple fact that, again, people understand how to play team fights more. You as a Human Torch know how to play team fights better. And yeah. Now, some of the solo carries got removed and got pushed down. That's because players understand how to play against those characters. So as an example, Cloak and Dagger or Doctor Strange or Iron Man, like these are characters that people understand how to play against already. Once people understand how to do this, this is where you need to become a better player. You need to become an above average player to go back to that solo carry category. So pretty much how these lists work is the better you are with the character, you're able to move them up one. Match by match basis, all these characters down here, again, if you get better at them, you will be able to move up. But if you're someone who's like, I only have 10 hours into a character, or I'm just starting, and you want to play these characters and these ranks, you're not going to be successful because they don't provide much for you until you get to that level. So this is the tier list that we have. Again, I recommend watching the stream if you want any particular If you want any particular questions answered, I answered them in the stream. We talked about it and we gave our opinions and all that extra good stuff. Just to recap what these categories are, solo carriers are going to be the characters that if your teammates aren't that great, you could still end up carrying the match and winning. Decent team equals easy win. These are going to be the characters that your team needs to play at a pretty decent level. And if they are able to do that, you can go ahead and carry the game your way. Match by match basis, this is going to be characters that based off what's being picked, based off of the play styles of your teammates, based off what the enemy picked, your team, all that extra stuff, all that goes together. Based off the map, sometimes it will affect your ability to win, especially at the higher ranks. So this is the tier list that I have. As always, play whatever you want to play. This is just a tier list that I decided to make. It's not about how strong a character is. It's about how much effort it's going to take for you to win matches within whatever rank you're in. Okay, so that's what it is. And as I said many times, and again, I'll keep saying it, play whatever you enjoy, because what you enjoy is going to have you be able to get better. Counters don't matter. You will be able to play better than the person counter picking you. And if they aren't successful, you're wasting one of their team picks on a counter that's not even working. You see what I'm trying to say? So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want free VOD reviews or you guys want coaching, check the links down below. Both links are there. But until next time, you know what I always say. You guys are doing what? Up and often. Love.